Namaskar, let me welcome you all to today's episode of Sitar Learning Essentials. During the phase when we learn how to play sitar, particularly the beginners face lot of challenges in producing the sound properly. Sometimes their stroke pattern is not okay. Sometimes their left hand shift between the frets does not work well. When they start learning how to play means, how to pull the strings, the deflection of the strings, that is not effective. So there is various aspects which one needs to understand and do. In that line, we have had lot of episodes on right hand techniques and left hand techniques. A to Z of right hand, A to Z of left hand. We had couple of episodes. Individually we had episodes on how to have the strumming patterns, bowls, how to play the straight movement up and down across the fret, which is sapat, playing certain pattern in repeated way, palta or alankar. Then we had different episodes on Sidha Jhala, Ulta Jhala, Meent, what not. We almost covered all the aspects of sitar playing in our Sitar Learning Essentials series. Now, what I also realized that just doing is one part, is actually the second part. The first part is understanding. So, knowing one's instrument and how it works, why if our guru or teacher is asking to follow certain path, certain way, and he is asking not to do in the other way, what is the reason behind it? It is very important. So knowing the instrument, I think we also had one episode at the beginning of this Sitar Learning Essential series, that know your instrument, where I have explained the structure of Gandhar Pancham Sitar and Kharach Pancham Sitar in two different episodes. Also we had one such episode on Surbahar also. But I thought it will be good and a kind of refresher to reiterate certain aspects to understand the science behind the instrument. Few days ago, one of my students was asking, sir, is it hollow or it is filled up, right, if there is some material inside it. So first we need to understand, for the science students who have had science, I think in 9th and 10th grade everyone has science. So there was a chapter in physics on musical instruments, that musical instruments are hollow box. There is air inside it, okay, and this is made, particularly the sitar is made of wood and just pumpkin or gourd. Nothing else is there, and metal. Other than this three material, there is nothing else. Wood, this dand and tabli wood. This part is kaddu, as it is called, pumpkin, dried pumpkin, processed pumpkin. And from this part, this joint you see, from here, this is also wood. And this strings and frets are metal. And there are certain decorative elements like these ones, right, these strips, these are called celluloid strips. And Gandhar Pancham and Kharach Pancham Sitar have their different types of design, okay. Now, at the end we have, the strings are tied, one is the fixed end, so this particular part, actually there is a holder of the strings, right, where strings are, one end of the string is having the loops and they are fixed here. So taraf strings or the sympathetic strings, these ones, smaller ones for the resonance, are fixed in this hook, this particular portion. And the main strings which are passing through this upper bridge are tied in this part, okay. And these are the fine tuners which are called manka, and sympathetic strings pass through this bridge and the main strings pass through this bridge. And these are the movable pegs by which we do the tuning. That is the fixed edge, and these are the movable edge by which we can tune, either we can tighten it or loosen it for tuning purpose. Again, these beads are for our fine tuning. When we play, then we don't want to disturb this page, so little deviation we can adjust using this. By pushing this up, it is tightened, and pushing it down, it gets loosened. And these are the frets. Also there are two additional bridges. These are called tar gahan, Ada, Saraswati, so through which the strings pass. Now what we need to understand very clearly, that how the sound is being produced and how different frets, once we are pushing the different frets, how the sound changes, the swaras change, sa re ga ma pa dha ni, sa re ga ma pa, all these notes we are being able to achieve in sitar just by strumming and pushing, strumming with our right hand and pushing with our left hand, how we are getting them. You see, once the instruments are bigger in size, once the strings become longer. For an example, Sitar-Surbahar is longer than sitar. So once the length of the strings are longer, they resonate in lower pitch. And once the length of the string is shorter, then they resonate in higher pitch. That's why you see the tarab strings, this is the highest pitch, tar saptak ga, high octave ga, gandhar, and this is lower octave ni. Why we are not, have you ever thought, why we are not tuning this as lower octave ni and this is as higher octave ga? Ni sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa re ga, this also we could do. But why we are not doing this? Because shorter the length, higher the pitch. This instrument is a symbol of a great scientific research which has been done long time ago, which is one of the factor or one of the aspect which is ignored. You see, before all these things people knew formally as part of a subject of physics or whatever we give name, but this instrument has evolved over hundreds and hundreds of years from now. Right? So that's the way the taraf strings or the upper strings. See the chikari string, which is of highest pitch, this peg is here. Then the first chikari, this is here, which is tuned to middle octave sa, high octave sa, middle octave sa. Now rest of the strings, whatever you are seeing here, all go into lower octave. Lower octave sa, lower octave ga, lower octave pa, and lower octave ma. Mandra saptak madhyam, mandra saptak sadaj, mandra saptak gandhar, mandra saptak pancham. So we are not keeping this because the length, you see, from here to here length is smaller and here to here the length is longer. So that is the only reason. Now if you think from the frets perspective, once we are playing the lowest pitch on the main string or the open string ma, so once we are strumming, and then you see which portion of the string is vibrating. From this targan, from this part, Ada also it is called, to this bridge, only this part is vibrating. So here to here the entire length of the string is vibrating. And the string is getting some surface to vibrate, so that is the role of this bridge. And sound of the sitar heavily depends on the surface of the bridge. If this is cut, then sitar sound is not good. So based on certain duration, after certain time interval, we have to have this maintained. So jawari is done. So this is rubbed to remove the upper surface and make it more smooth, and there is certain inclination which also controls the sitar sound. So this surface is extremely important, probably the most important factor for the resonance, because it controls how the string will resonate. And from here to here it gets a length to resonate. So now if we play first fret, which is Tibrama, then you see the rest, this part is not vibrating. This part is not vibrating. Or I will give you an example on Sa. Once you are pressing this, essentially we are controlling the length of the string which will vibrate. Sa. So only from here to here the string is vibrating. The rest of the part is not vibrating, it is static. So similarly, once we play in pa, this part is static, only from this portion to this portion is vibrating. See, the length of the string which is vibrating is smaller. So essentially with our left hand, we are controlling the length of the string that should vibrate by pushing it against the frets. So here this is not vibrating, so if you play any note, it is applicable. This logic is applicable. Now once you are playing tar saptak ma, so only this portion is vibrating. So the length of the portion of the string which is vibrating gets smaller, and eventually we get higher pitch once we go from here to here. So we are controlling the length of the string by pushing with our left hand. Now if we think little bit deeper, the position of the left hand is important, and also the time sequence in which we are moving our right hand, the time interval, that also should match the timing if we are shifting our finger from one fret to another. If this timing of my right hand strumming and left hand shift from one fret to another, or left hand shift from one string to another, or pulling the mid, all these things are not time synced, the sound will get blurred. You will end up in having muffled sound, because our shift from one fret to another, by that time either my next stroke is gone or my next stroke is yet to come. So this time synchronization, which is set balance between right and left hand, is something we have to understand first, and then only we'll be able to play. Once we realize, once we understand something, we are in position to do it better way, right? So this is one aspect. Second aspect is position of our fingertip on the fret. If that position is not proper, if the position is improper, then you will end up in having muffled sound. You see? How this you can make this proper? If you realize that we are having one bridge, big bridge here, and these frets are also working as mini bridges. You have to give some surface to the string so that it can vibrate. So if you have to press it at the edge, corner of the string, so that the string gets chance to pass through the fret while we give stroke. Once it should get that surface to vibrate. So we should allow the string to pass through the surface of the fret. So this is also mini bridge. Now if we place our finger on top of this fret, then effectively what we are doing, we are stopping that string to vibrate, because it is not getting its surface to vibrate. Because here, even though here it is getting the surface of the bridge, here it is not getting the surface of the bridge. These are, as I said, these are working as mini bridge. So once we press it, this surface and this surface together gives the string, this portion, the proper length to vibrate. So once we place it here and there, not on proper position, you will have muffled sound. These are the two things I told: the timing between both the hands and the position of your fingertip on the fret. Now if you have any other idea why you are ending up in producing muffled sound, please don't forget to comment in the comment box, or if you have any question, please put in the comment box, or even you can email us the questions or concerns, but better you write that in the comment box so that it is visible to everyone and everyone get benefited from there. With this note, let us conclude today's session. Those who have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do that and click on the bell icon and activate notification all, so that once we upload this kind of educative and informative videos, you get notification and you enjoy or learn this beautiful art form called Indian classical music. Namaskar, thank you and all the best.